lots of little bits in it. Okay, so there's 3 or 4 elements there that you need to know. It's your next assessment dish, alright? We call it Moroccan aubergine. Alright, aubergine, Moroccan spice. We're going to stuff it with potatoes and feta. And we're going to make a ratatouille. Potatoes. What is the rule with potatoes and veg that we grow in the ground? What do we do then? Wash them.
Are you going to peel them?
Yeah. Do I need to wash them again once I've peeled them?
Yes.
Yes, I do. So, using your speedy peelers, the quickest way to do potato is to peel around there and then just do the tops and the bottom. Alright? Always use your waste bowl.
Do you have any tips for peeling, sir?
Yeah, just cake tips then.
No, but like a better tip for like peeling. Not like the direction to peel, but like to peel.
Not really. Okay, so once you've peeled it, you need to give it a quick wash. That just gets rid of all the dirt that might be around, okay? Next thing, when you're doing potatoes for mashed potatoes as a rule, you would probably cut them about this size, because what we need to do is to actually cook them without them absorbing much water, because we want it quite dry. But because we haven't got much time, you've got to get it done quickly. We're going to cut them in half again. Put them in a pot of water. We season it, so just with salt. We put it in. We crank that up to full. And hopefully it'll cook in time, okay? So, when you come to do your assessment dish, make sure you get that on really fast. Even if you get that on and then come back and get the rest of your ingredients, okay? Because that we'll be waiting for that, guaranteed. Right, next thing we're going to do, I'm going to do some prep for the ratatouille. Does anyone know what ratatouille is? Yeah, it was a film, and it was a rat, not a mouse, but... No? Ratatouille is a stew, okay? So what defines it? A stew. What defines it to be a stew? Does anybody know? Cooked in its own sauce? Is that what you said? Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to use red onion for ours. Generally you can use white onion. Take the hard skin off as always. We're going to take the tip off where it grows up. This time we're going to cut the root off, okay? Normally you leave that on when you're doing fine dice. We're going to do big dice. So we want to cut that off. And then we can just go straight in here. Now, we want...
Can you move the oil?
Yeah, sure. We want all our veggies and stuff to be about the same size. So I've cut this in roughly about 1 centimetre dice. Okay. I'm going to be using a tub to put my stuff in, because I can just prep it while it's all going on, you see. So, onions done. Next thing I'm going to prep is my aubergine. Now what we need to do is to cut 4 fine slices like this. That won't do. They've got to be whole slices, guys, so if you get into the end like this, lay it flat. You've all done that before. We're going to put that to one side. Our trimming bits, this is what we're going to dice, okay? Dice all the same size. I'll do a bit more than you need to. Bring it around. Okay, nice even sizes. Same with the courgette. So with the courgette, obviously we're going to take the bit that's grown off. Just take the very end off. It's about just under 1 centimetre dice, really. Nice squared off. Bring it flat. Obviously you guys will be looking at getting these accurate so they're all the same size rather than fanging through it. so we've got onions. I'm going to get this cracking on now, so we'll light up. I won't use that one. Light that one up. Light that one up. So I've just got a small amount of oil in there. So this is getting hot. How do I know it's getting hot?
The oil's really
Oil's going thin. I can feel it. It's not there yet. So with our aubergines, what we're going to do, because we're grilling, because this is still part of our grilling unit, is that we're going to put a little bit of oil on them, wrap them around. We're going to put some Moroccan seasoning on them, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're going to grill them into our perfect lines. Now we can do that at any stage because we're going to take them back off, okay? Because the whole thing gets wrapped together. So we put our oil plate down. Yeah. You're just going to roll them in it, pull them to the side. You don't want them sitting in it. Lay them out. Bit of Moroccan on there. Have you seen all those mixed spices before, like Moroccan and all that? Seasoning. So I'm going to chuck this on while I do my ratatouille. When you guys do your assessment, because time's always short, if you get your potatoes, you're waiting for your potatoes, that's the time to do your dishes, alright? So you can get all this stuff done, you can get your ratatouille done, you can get the aubergine cooked off, chop up all your herbs and everything. Okay, so I can see the lines are in that, so I should hear it going when I put it in. You don't have to use tubs, you can chop it, put it straight in if you like. I'm just doing this just to keep it rolling. This is boiling. If it starts splitting and spanging and the lid's going off, what do I do to it?
Take the lid off a bit.
Yeah, you can take it off just a little bit like that, or you can turn it down a little bit with the Moroccan spice. Nice sprinkle of this stuff. This isn't spicy. Not like if it was a Cajun mix or something like that, it's quite spicy. So give your onions a little bit of a tickle around. When they start softening up, bang your garlic in. That's about one small clove, okay? Give that a little bit of a tickle. You'll find your garlic can burn really fast if you've got it in too long, too hot. In goes our veggies. So at this point, if this pan was getting too hot, what could I do to it to cool it down? Turn it down. What else?
The element.
Hey?
Take it off.
Take it off the element. There's one other thing that will cool it down real quick. Yeah, just if you put a little bit of water, I mean just a little bit, like that. That just takes the heat out of the pan, but it creates steam, so it's also cooking your veggies at the same time. But that water will just evaporate. But because we're making a stew, we're going to have to put a little bit of moisture in there. A little pinch of herbs, not too much, they're quite strong when they're dry like that. Give these a sweat off just for a couple of seconds.
What?
A sweat off. Have you heard the word sweating before?
Yeah.
It's when you're cooking without colour. Okay, so we're getting some lines on these. We're turning them over. These need to be soft, like they did normally. Put some tomato in there. A little bit of water. Adjust my heat, because we want it to cook slowly now, okay? So that just needs to tickle away now. Tickle, tickle, tickle. We've seasoned it. Make sure it's seasoned. Do you guys still remember what simmering is? As opposed to boiling? Yes?
Sorry?
Simmering. Yeah, but you know what it is. It's just below boiling egg. So it's hot, but it's not going full out. Right. Clean plate. Give your aubergine just a little bit of a tickle. Give them a tap. Just to check they're cooked. Once these are cooked, we're just going to lay them on the plate. They can go cold, doesn't matter. Because we're going to redo it anyway. Get rid of this. So, keep this moving, keep your eye on it, because if it boils too hard, it'll just cook out too much and it'll be really dry. You can always add a little bit of moisture if you like. So I'm going to check my potatoes. See if they're still really hard. So we're going to do a little bit more mise en place. Feta cheese, everybody seen feta cheese before? You can get two kinds of feta cheese. You can get one that's really crumbly, or you can get a firm one. This is the firm one. We're going to dice it. Have you guys tasted it before?
Nah.
We won't need all of that. So, do you guys want to taste a little bit? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Come on, grab a little piece. So do we all remember how we're going to chop herbs? Yeah? You get it on your board, you put your knife flat, you push it against the blade and squish it up to a little ball. And then you just run your knife through it. So we're just gently pushing it under the blade as it goes up and down. By doing that method, you're already half cut here. Flat fingers, keeping them well clear of the board. Pinching your knife, you're just going to rock it backwards and forwards. Until it's quite fine, okay? Put that in there for now. Right, now all we're waiting for is our potatoes. If we look at our ratatouille, she's boiling away here. That's getting a bit dry now. So what am I going to do? What where?
Take off the element.
A little bit of water. We need to keep it on the element to keep it cooking because she's still not quite cooked. We're not going to put heaps in. You can put water in stuff, but remember the more water you're putting in, the less the flavour is going to be intense. But we don't want to make it dry because it is a stew, so it's got to be cooked in its own juices, alright? So, by heat control. Right, potatoes. Put my knife in, they fall off, okay? That means they're cooked. I can feel when I push them in that they're soft. I'm going to drain it with the lid. If you don't feel confident enough to drain it with the lid, use a sieve or a colander. When you've drained them, you need to put them back on the heat. And then you let the steam out. Huh? Don't walk away while you're doing this. Why not? Because they'll burn hard. So, why do you think I'm putting them back on the heat and giving them a bit of a shake? To get the water out. Zara, you are literally on fire.
What did you say?
Get the water out. We need to get the water out because we're after a dry product, okay? So, see how they're sort of just going a bit, I don't know, powdery around the edge? David? Going powdery around the edge? Right, we're going to mash them. We're going to put some butter in. We're not going to put any milk in. We are going to do. We are going to do something called ricing. sieve. Put them in a sieve. We use the back of a spoon or a plastic scraper, and we just gently work them through. This is called ricing. Pardon? What's what?
Just keep going.
So push it all through. You'll get to a stage like this where there's nothing in there. Check you've got no lumps on here, and then just scrape the bottom of the sieve down.
It looks so dry.
Right, in here, this is basically a base of like a Duchess potato. If you're going to do Duchess potatoes, you put egg yolk in here now, and then you'd be able to pipe it, okay? But without piping it, we want to be able to mould it. See, it's quite mouldy. We need to be able to mould it. Mould as in shape it, not as in mould as it's gone off, okay? So, we're going to put our parsley in there. We're going to put our feta in there. We're going to gently stir it around because we want those lumps of feta to be relatively there. Would I taste this?
Yep.
Yes, of course. So you're going to taste it, see if the seasoning's right.
Tastes like potatoes.
I put a little bit more salt in there. Would I put black pepper in there? No. I wouldn't. Why not? Because it changes the colour, right? It looks like bits of burnt stuff in there. So you'd use white pepper if you're going to, okay? Right, we're going to put our plates in the oven. Why?
Keep them warm.
Hot plates because we're using what?
Hot food.
Hot food. Next stage.
Oh shit.
You're going to take some mashed potato mix. And we're going to put them on the fat end. Now this is where you need to listen. Because the amount we're using needs to sit in the fat bit, alright?
Yeah, probably.
You reckon?
Yeah. Especially since we don't have a recipe.
Right, what I've done, I've put one on here. You can do it on the plate, I'm putting it on the board so you can see it. Put it on the fat bit, I'm shaping it down into a little barrel. See what I mean by how you can mould it? Okay? But, Ben, I'm moving it to the small side because I want to roll it up from the small side to the big side. So we end up with the big end covering all the potato, yeah?
I'm eating it too.
Big end covering all the potato. Roll it up.
I don't like potato. It's fucking weird.
What's it?
I don't like potato.
You're a weirdo.
Because this has been cooked and because this has been cooked and it's been sitting, she's not very hot, alright? How are we going to heat it up? Huh? How?
Back on the pan.
She said blowtorch.
No, you're going to stick it in a pan or a roasting tray.
Put it on the oven.
It's up to you which one you're going to use.
Look at all those dishes though.
Why is this?
Put it this on the
So
farmhouse.
much dishes, man. So much escapes.
That's why I said you've got to pay attention. And we're going to stick it in the oven, like this. Now, I'm not going to do that, but you will need to. If you cook it too much, the mashed potato thins out and it'll come out the side, it will blow out, like that, okay? So you've got to cook it until it's hot in the middle. How are we going to tell it's hot in the middle? Ooh, what temperature we need to look at?
75.
Ooh, you cats are on fire. Yeah, anything above 75? Is it
like
going to,
that.
if it's not 75, is it going to kill you?
Yes.
No. Not if you're eating it instantly.
Not if it's been out this length of time. If this has been on the bench for over 2 hours,
Danger zone.
is it safe to eat?
No.
No.
Still will.
So, the length of time we've had it, we bang it in the oven. If we get it up to 70, probably pretty safe because it's not a high risk product. But you need it over 75, okay, just to be sure, kill everything, yeah? So, we take our hot plates out. Have we tasted the ratatouille yet?
No.
Do we need to?
Yeah.
You guys should be tasting all the stuff you make, yeah? I'm going to use a ring.
Oh no.
I'm going to get my ratatouille.
I'm having some rain.
So Levi, what's the rule about plating up?
Use a spoon.
Yeah, but use a spoon, but what's the main rule?
Put it on the plate.
Where?
In the middle? No.
Always put your food on the plate where you want it to be. Hey Levi, you don't move it around because what happens? It gets messy. So, especially with this, if you drop it all over your plate, you're going to have to end up getting a towel, spending hours wiping, alright? So we get precise, boom, we're there, right? We take these, which are hot, so I'm using a spoon. I'm laying them just at the same angle. Both plate has to be the same, yeah?
Looks like a main feed.
I'm just going to stick a little bit of this on it. You could chop it up if you wanted, put a little bit on, as long as you're keeping away from the edge of the plate. Okay, so 2 portions of Moroccan spiced aubergine stuffed with feta and potatoes, okay, with a ratatouille. So we've got a grilling element, we've got a stewing element, there's lots of different processes in there. So if you think the dishes you've done before were complicated, next level up, okay? We're bringing it up next level.